So I want to formally welcome you both, Marianne and Rebecca, to our brand new practical element of our self-hypnosis training 2.0 version. Essentially what I want to do with this part of our training together is lay down the foundation of the new ideas, the new practical elements of how we can actually use self-hypnosis in regards to setting goals, changing unconscious issues that you're having, or you want to overcome things in your life that you just can't seem to do. This is the practical element where we learn how to do it all, how it's actually going to change our understanding of how to use self-hypnosis for our own personal development, or for our business, or for even seeing hypnotherapy clients. This is where we're going to play around with the ideas, gain an understanding of how to use it all, so we can actually use it in a positive and successful way. So before we actually do this, do either of you have any questions with what we're about to do, or any concerns before we actually get started?
No, I'm all good, thanks, Scott.
All good to go? Excellent. All right. So, as per usual, to enlighten everyone that's listening as well, you both are professional hypnotherapists, so you have a keen understanding and a very deep understanding of how the unconscious mind works in regards to hypnotherapy. So, for people listening at home as well, I will refer back to hypnotherapy because self-hypnosis, in effect, is very similar to hypnotherapy. Now, if you're listening to this program for the first time, you do not have to be a qualified hypnotherapist, because we will reveal the most important elements that attain to what we're doing with self-hypnosis, but it will give you a crystal clear understanding of how therapists, and actually hypnotherapists, treat their clients. We're actually going to use the very same system of how a therapist treats a client to overcome addictions or quit smoking or overcome weight loss issues. We're going to use those same elements and the same approach, but approach it a little bit back to front to suit a more personal development and a more self-healing method itself. So as we get started, folks, what I want to ask Marianne and Rebecca is to play with this premise alone. Now, there's one premise that we play with that actually activates everything we're going to do in regards to this new self-hypnosis method. So my question for you two listening is, you both should be fairly familiar with the amount of personal development courses out in the industry, correct?
Yes.
There's many for different styles of goal setting. There's many to say that are more of a coaching style, that if you follow these steps in your life, you'll overcome this issue. Or if you use this type of mantra or self-believing script, if you will, on yourself, you'll overcome this. Or if you use this style of visualization, you'll get this in your life. Or there's imagination techniques. There's many, many, many inside a multi-billion-dollar industry. Okay. Now, if we were to break down all the steps of every self-development course, if we were to break down all the steps on every way to overcome something in your life to have the best life in the world, there is something that remains, no matter which style or which approach you take, that very rarely gets spoken about. And it's this very rarely spoken about part that in actuality is the one thing that we concentrate on as hypnotherapists when actually treating a client. And it's this one specific thing that I want to spend a lot of time on, because when we understand this, we clear up all the misconceptions. The self-hypnosis method we use after understanding all this becomes irrelevant. Okay? So the question I want to leave you both with to have a chat amongst yourselves about, and with me, of course, is with so many courses out there, why is it so often that we still fail with everything we want in life? Whether it's to overcome something, make more money, have better relationships. What do you folks see as being the biggest issues? Being that there's a lot of information, there's a lot of great courses, there's a lot of great things and suggestions we can do. Why is it that we still find ourselves stuck in the same place as when we started the course, even though we've finished other courses in the past? What do you think the issue here is?
Well, I would say that we're trying to change things from a conscious level.
Excellent. I want you to keep that in mind, because you're on the right track, and this is the hypnotherapist coming out of you. Okay. What about yourself, Rebecca?
Just coming up against those same blockages that we kind of have always had in, as a behavioral pattern of who we are as people.
Yes. Excellent. And you guys hit the nail on the head. That's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to play with these two premises, put them together to make it even simpler to understand. Now, to do this, we need to understand something that we all do just with our style of hypnosis, which is the more conversational style. When we're treating a client, no matter what it is, for smoking, weight loss, make more money, better relationships. Okay, we're essentially helping a client achieve a goal, and we are the medium to help them do that. So if you look at self-hypnosis, essentially it's the same thing, but the medium that is helping you is you yourself. It's self-hypnosis. It's for yourself. So you're just subtracting the therapist, and you're essentially doing the same thing on yourself. When we're treating a client, what is the one thing we know to do? What is one of the main things we know to do before we even start to do anything therapeutic, whether it be telling a story, using language patterns, using an Ericksonian approach, using a conversational approach? What is the one thing we're accustomed to do when treating any client at the very start?
Finding out what they're here for.
Excellent. So finding out what they're here for. Yep. What else?
Exploring their mindset about that.
Excellent. Exploring the mindset. Could we agree, if I can just change that just slightly, we are there, our first part of any therapy session, no matter what it is, no matter how big or small it is to clear the old thinking that stops a client moving forward. Would you both agree with this?
Yes.
Okay. So why is it when we come to self-hypnosis, we get overloaded with the 10 magical questions to ask yourself to reveal the best life you can have, or to follow this training or coaching program to assist you to be the millionaire you want to be, or to be the person of the ideal weight? Why is it that we spend so much time trying to move forward without actually looking what's holding us back? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I want to do with this program is do the latter. I want to take an approach where we can clear everything that would stop a self-hypnosis or a self-development program working in the first place. Wouldn't that be a good place to start?
Definitely.
We know that if a smoker comes to see us, they ideally would want to quit smoking. But we know if we just head forward to them quitting and having the life they want free of cigarettes, what are we left with? Would you both agree that we're left with everything that's made them a smoker in the first place?
Yes.
And it's these old thinking, these old affliction, these old concepts that are going to continually pull them back to smoking. Why? Because they're deep-rooted in the unconscious mind, as Marianne pointed out before. We need any sort of goal setting. It has to be done unconsciously. No matter what conscious steps you add or conscious plan you put in place, and I'll give you some real-life scenarios of this in a moment, the unconscious mind will always pull you back to the norm. Okay? It'll always pull you back to homeostasis, because that's what it does. It does not like things to change, because then its own power of helping you develop in life is being taken away from it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you a real life scenario. This is for people listening at home. We have all worked with some sort of weight loss client before, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's say we have a client who wants to lose weight. Okay, let's use a weight loss analogy just for now, and then we'll move into more of a personal development analogy in a moment. Client comes to see us and they say something like, I want to lose weight for my wedding coming in 6 months. And we go, great. And then they continue to tell us that they've been to a personal trainer, they're seeing a dietitian, they're following all the latest diets, they've got all the latest weight loss tablets, they've got the protein powder, they've got the new shoes, they've got a training buddy, they've got all their favorite songs on their iPod. So why is that not working? Why are they sitting in front of us having done all the appropriate conscious things that should ideally lead this person towards where they want to go? Why are they coming to see us then? What's the issue that's arising here? What has this client done wrong?
Well, they're trying to do everything on a conscious level, so their actual reasoning behind everything is still staying the same.
Excellent. Okay. Now, why is doing this from a conscious level? And this is super important. We have to get an understanding of this. Now, when we say conscious level in regards to self-hypnosis or personal development, it's very much the same, isn't it? We're told that if we wake up in the morning, we should visualize the day ahead to be spectacular, fun, exciting, to make all the sales we need, to get to the gym at night time, to have a better relationship with our partner. And we're told, maybe just in regards to a visualization method, to do this every morning, to start to feel it, to start to see us having achieved our goals, to start to see us standing in front of the mirror looking fantastic, to see us buying the new car, to see us driving down the highway in our brand new Ferrari or Porsche. So why is it that the majority of us, and a high majority of us, never get to that point? Why? because we're doing this stuff consciously. Now, this is great stuff. Now, I'm not knocking visualization. I'm not knocking anything like that. What I'm more interested to do is how about we clear the slate so anything we do that in regards to visualization or self-hypnosis has somewhere that cannot be interrupted by old, purposeless thoughts and addictions that we had in the past. Wouldn't that make more sense for us?
Definitely.
Okay. So we know this client has come in to see us. They've done the dieting, they've done the cardio, and nothing's working. So our job as a hypnotist is to clear all those thinking that has made them get to the point of those things not working. So when they do use them in the future after having seen us, they work 10 times better and do not get interrupted by conscious living. Does that make sense of the premise we're playing with?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in regards to personal development, this is the analogy I want to play with. Okay. Let's imagine we have a dirty glass of water. The glass is dirty, and also the water is murky. It's got some elements in it that shouldn't be there. It's a bit muddy. It's a bit green looking. It's not something you would drink. Okay. I want you to use this analogy as your unconscious mind. Okay. And your conscious mind mixed together. It's mixed in with dirty water, clean water, and things that shouldn't be in there, such impurities that wouldn't make the water palatable for a human being. Would you drink this glass of water?
No.
Probably not. Okay. So let's say you're really thirsty and it's the only glass you can find. Now, you don't have a concept of how to work with a glass. You don't have a concept. You know you just want water and that's it. And you can see that the glass is right next to a sink or a tap. And you go ahead, you put the dirty glass that's full of dirty water underneath the tap. You turn on the tap because you want crystal clear water to drink. What now happens to that glass and the water that's inside the glass?
It dilutes.
It dilutes. Yep. What else?
The glass gets cleaner.
The glass gets cleaner. Yes. Why does this happen?
Because the force of the water is cleaning the sides of the glass.
Excellent. Would we agree that as the water is getting put into the old dirty glass, the old water is getting pushed out?
Yes.
Okay. We could also agree that the impurities will still stay on the glass, especially if they're stuck there and it's been like that for a long time, wouldn't we say?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We know what happens to dirty dishes if we don't clean them straight away. We leave them in the sink to quote unquote soak for a couple of days. We come back to wash them and it's harder to clean than if we would have done in the first place.
Yeah.
So now we think, with the water analogy, that we're drinking crystal clear water. Now, if we were to leave that water in that glass for a long time, what would happen to the fresh, clean water inside of a dirty glass?
It get dirty.
It'd get dirty. So let's look at it like this. Let's say the glass and the dirty water is your mind, your conscious and your unconscious, and the crystal clear water is your goals. It's everything you want to achieve. It's all the positives in your life, and it's all the self-development programs, it's all the steps you've used. You are now putting good stuff into bad stuff, and it all gets mixed up and dilutes together. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, you have more positive things or cleaner stuff inside the glass, but you're left with all those small impurities that will stay stuck to the side of the glass unless it is cleaned thoroughly. So this program I want you to look at as a high quality dishwasher. What we're going to do is put the glass inside the dishwasher, wash it until it's absolutely crystal clean, give it another wash and another wash till it's absolutely brand new, then fill up the water with beautiful clean, fill up the glass with beautiful clean water from the tap. Meaning that as we fill the glass up, we are now filling the mind up with all the positive things, all the steps, all the good conclusions, or everything that we need to move forward in life, and it doesn't get affected by all the old stuff. Does that make sense of where we're going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds refreshing.
Does sound refreshing to use the metaphor. Okay. And this is something that if you were to spend your time investigating any personal development programs, they're always looking at moving ahead. Now that's great. It's a great place to be. But if moving ahead means you're always getting pulled back by all the old stuff, wouldn't it be a better place to start to clear all the old stuff or clean that glass, then have a fresh, clean slate to work with? In my eyes, I think that's a better way to do things. Okay?
Yeah.
So how do we do this? Well, this is what this program's about. Okay? We need to look at what can we do as a